Greetings. This video is related to a recent video we have uploaded or posted on estimating multinomial logit models using a variety of tools, but the first video was on SPSS, and now we're going to illustrate another tool called Jamovi. For background, this is covered in chapters 8 and 9 of my book called Getting Started with Data Science, and the chapter 8 is about the binomial or dichotomous choices to be or not to be, or to be a homeowner or a renter. And chapter 9 gets into multinomial choices such as mode of travel or dating websites, if one want to know what dating websites people use. So I got a data set from Pew Research Center, and I'm going to illustrate that. But the real purpose of this video is to demonstrate the use of Jamovi, which is an open source tool. Now, as you can see it in the screen behind me, I've written down the options. You can run it using SPSS, Stata, Jamovi, SAS, and others. And the comparison with SPSS is because it's a very powerful tool, but it has this abundance of output that comes with it, an abundance of options that you have to go through. And I thought it would be better for our learners to see another tool, Jamovi, which is an open source tool based or built upon R, and I found it pretty easy to use, so I will illustrate this. So here we go. So I have got the data set already open in Jamovi. You could see that the right pane is where the output will come and the left pane is where the data are. So I know that done the basics to know what the data looks like. So I'm going to first say using variables or analysis, go into exploration, go into descriptives, and pick the variable of interest, which is dating brand. And here we go, dating brand. I pick it up, bring it here. I want to see frequency tables instead. And you could see that all sorts of dating brands are there: Match.com, eHarmony, OkCupid, and plenty of fish, but then others are small. So let's first restrict our data to the first 4 choices. Click on data, click on filters, and just type it up and saying dating brand is less than 5, so that I can have my first 4 choices, and press enter, and then that is done. And look at it, my data has been, my output has been automatically updated. So now only the first 4 choices are there. So we will, to keep this video under 5 or 4 minutes, I'll just go straight to analysis, click on regression, and now I'm looking at multinomial regression. So I look at the multinomial dialog box. It comes in here. I scroll down. I didn't scroll down that well. I don't know why. Let's just look for dating brand as our variable right here. And then for covariates, let's pick gender, sex. So that's a factor variable. It's a categorical variable. We can even pick region. That's another categorical variable. And as I populate the dialog box, you could see the output is being updated. We can scroll down and pick race as a categorical variable. Income may be continuous, so that's a continuous variable. And let's look for employed. That should also be a categorical variable. And there's lots of other options. So let's just take employed out. Kids 6 to 11, maybe if presence of children has an impact. So you could see that comes out as well. So okay, so now the purpose is not to illustrate the quality of the output, just to, I'm taking kids out. Okay, here we go. Just to demonstrate. So we estimated a multinomial logit model, and we have an R square of 0.09 or 9.4%. You know that logit probit models have low R square. You can't compare them to OLS. There was some reference to a paper or a book by Moshe Ben Akiva that said something like an R square of 0.15 translates from logit to 0.8 in OLS regression. I don't know, but I read it some 20, 30 years ago. Anyhow, so here's how the model output looks like. The base is Match.com, so you could see that the differences between. So let me rephrase. In multinomial logit, we will arbitrarily take one of the alternatives as the base case. In this case, we have Match.com as the base, but we can change the reference level. And so, for example, if you want eHarmony or OkCupid to be the base, so now everything is being compared to OkCupid. And look at here where we were saying what's the difference from male being the reference case. We can change it to female, and now the reference is changing to female. So you can make these changes on the fly, which is really helpful. And now, because you have 4 choices, you have n-1 or 3 sets of coefficients. So the first one is between Match.com and OkCupid. The second one is eHarmony and OkCupid, and the last one is Plenty of Fish. You can have estimated marginal means. Let's say if I want them for the term sex, I can enter them, and here you go. The estimated marginal means are there. I can have the tables output as well. So there's the table output. If I don't want the equal cell weights assumption for the other categorical variables, I can deselect it, and then the results change slightly. So here you go. You've got the multinomial logit model output, and within the output you have the estimate, the standard error, the z-statistic, and the p-value. You could see that most of the coefficients are not statistically significant. Some are, and that's the reason for this, is to see how concise this output is and how easy it was to estimate the model. And it will then remember next time when I click on the dialog boxes, it will remember how if I click on the output, it will remember how I generated the dialog boxes. So I'm going to stop it here.